In this tutorial, we shall take a look at the basics of color and how to use them. There are many ways to select colors in Photoshop. We will take a look at them and pick the one best suited to us. Let's begin by hiding the Start screen, going over to the Workspace picker and then choosing Essentials. Then on the toolbar, we will click on the Foreground Color Swatch so as to access the color picker. We can change the saturation and the brightness if we click and drag in the large area to the left or use the elevator to change the hue. We can also click in any of these other areas to bring in variation in the appearance of the color picker and also to select different colors. And if at all we have to work with web colors, we can return to the hue option and then enable only web colors. So now when we select a color, it will be web safe and we could copy the hex value for that color if we need to. We can add this color to our swatches by just clicking Add to Swatches. We will name this color Burnt Orange and then click OK. And as soon as we click OK, we can see that our foreground color swatch has now been changed to that color. If we want to reset this to the default, we can just click the D key or click on the small icon just above it. And to swap our foreground with our background, we can either tap the X key or click on this double-headed arrow. Let's take a look at the color and the swatches panel. Firstly, let's click and drag the swatches panel to make it float in its own window and increase it in size to make it a little more visible for us. And as we can see at the top, these are our recently used colors. And down here, we have a number of different swatches that are already loaded by default. And at the very bottom, we can see that's the burnt orange color that we just added. If we want to change the way we are viewing them from a small thumbnail to a list view, we can do that. Good. Now let's change the back to small thumbnail. Another thing to be noted is that we can also load a number of different color libraries if we need access to them. And when we position our cursor down in this empty area, we get the icon of the paint can. This also allows us to add the foreground color as a color swatch. So, if we click right now, we can see that a foreground color is added, which was black. Let's just click Cancel for now. By using the color panel, we can also choose colors quickly. If we set our color panel to the HSB slider, it's easier for us to access the hue, saturation, and the brightness of the colors. To recap, once we find the color that we like, we can always add this to our swatches by simply clicking in that empty area and then choosing OK. So now these are the 3 simpler ways to select different colors in Photoshop.